Okay, welcome. My name is Deb Bixler, and this is the WordPress tutorial video that's going to teach you how to manage your blog. I'm going to give you some quick tips on how to get started. It's an ongoing learning process, but we'll just get you started so you can start editing your blog, and then you can learn more as you go along. So in order to edit your blog, you have to go to the login page. The login page is the name of your website /WP-admin. So in this case, create a cashflowshow.com/WordPress-admin. You push enter, and then it takes you over to a login page. You can see that there's a whole bunch of more numbers and letters and things there. You don't have to remember that. It's WordPress. It's createacashflowshow.com/WP-login. And then you put your name and password in there, and if you click remember, you'll come back and it'll help you to log in a little bit quicker. And once you log in, every website looks a little bit different. It depends a lot on your theme, as well as whether your software is up to date, and also how long after we create this video that you're watching this, because just like Facebook, we create it today and by tomorrow they've changed something and it looks different. So this is the landing page. We're on the main dashboard. All the things here in the middle, you don't really have to worry about them too much, but you'll notice that there's, at a glance, things that you've done in the past, recently edited or published articles and things like that, comments. So you don't really have to pay too much attention to this, but draw your attention over here to the right. And depending on whether you're on mobile or on a PC or on a tablet or a smaller screen PC, it's going to look a little bit different over here. But these are your features that you can edit. There's probably more on this than there will be on yours, because I have a lot more special plugins and bells and whistles than you do just getting started. But you'll see I'm on a regular full screen PC, and we have a nice sidebar here with all the different things that can be edited and worked on. But if we were on a tablet, it would look more like that. And so then you'd have a little section here with the same things. You hover over them, and it's going to tell you what they are, and then you pick what you want to do. Now, if you're on a mobile device, you get this little drop-down tool up here, and then you can see the different things that you want to do. I really strongly recommend that you work from a PC when you're editing, or at least a decent-sized laptop. It's a lot easier, a lot quicker, and a lot more efficient. So as we get started here, I think the most important thing for you to learn from day one is the difference between a post and a page. Because I go to a lot of blogs that are new bloggers or new websites, and the distributor or the webmaster who's working on them don't understand the difference, and it's just a willy-nilly mess. Okay, so a blog, let's go to the front of the blog now. The Cashflow Show blog. All blogs are a dynamic software system of managing content. And every time you post a new content, it's going to show up on top. This post here actually went live, the most recent articles, today. I think this was Monday, 3 days ago, 4 days ago, and then last week. So and depending on how we configure your blog, you may or may not have, the list of the most recent articles on the side. But if your blog is the landing page for the blog, like in my case, the landing page for the website is a home page. It's a stable, stick it in one place, keep it there forever page that I can change it, but it never moves. And so these pages are linked from somewhere. If you don't have a link to get to them, nobody will ever find them. So when you create a page, you're creating something permanent. I mean, obviously you could delete it, but generally speaking, it stays where you put it, and if you don't link to it from someplace else, nobody will ever find it. All right, that's a page. It's a permanent location. In my case, the home page of the website is a page, and the home page of the blog is still contained on the same website, but it's not the landing page when they type in createacashflowshow.com. And so a lot of people set up the landing page for their website. As a matter of fact, I could show you my other website. wowyouareallylucky.com. And when you land there, and a lot of blogs do this, this is a food blog, but you'll notice that all the articles, it lands on the blog itself. And so I usually keep 5 articles on the first page, and then if you want to see the older posts, you go back. But it's a dynamic system of every blog post is like an article or a small chapter, a small subchapter in a book. You'll notice over here I have my recent articles and recipes as well as categories. And so your blog has categories. In my blogs, I have about 10 categories, maybe more, 3, 6, 9, 12. 12 categories, but they relate to each other. 17-minute meals, children's health, diet and lifestyle coach, food choices, fun but not so healthy recipes, gluten-free recipes. They all relate to the overall theme of the blog, which is, wow, you're really lucky. You're healthy, and here's some healthy recipes for you. And the same with the other website, which it's all about home party plan training. And so, again, I have categories. So every category is a chapter in your book. And every article is a different page or subtitle within each chapter. And the chapters should relate to each other. And when you put an article, write a business plan, if my guess is, if I did it right, I'd probably put it in home office tips. And so every subtitle fits within the category of the website. I put it in home office strategies. And so you can see that you end up with the website, the chapter or category, and then the name of the article in your URL. And so a blog is a dynamic log or web log of what you're doing on your website. And as you post a new blog, each one moves down the page. So the first 3 articles, 1, 2, 3, and then number 4 was posted 2 weeks ago. Number 5 was posted 2.5 weeks ago. And if you want to see the older articles, you have to go into the archive section. And so when you start to write in your blog, do you want to write a page or do you want to write a post? Okay, it's really important that you understand the difference in that area. So let's write a post. Add a new post. So you click right here, add new. Now if we were adding a page, everything I'm going to teach you from here on out is the same. It's the same techniques, it's the same, everything I'm going to teach you right now is the same. So let's write a blog post. Writing blog posts. Now what you want to do is decide on a title and also what are you trying to attract. Like this is about writing blog posts. So the title, let's say that's our keyword. If someone searches in the search engines, we want them to find us if they type in writing blog posts. And so let's change it a little bit. Let's change it to how to write blog posts. And so we'll have our keyword be write blog posts. So capitalize your titles, and then within the first sentence of your article, you want to include your keywords. And that way you're telling the search engines what the article's about. This is writing for the search engines and for the customers. But you're telling them what the article's all about, but you're also proving it by actually using those words. And then if we want to put a subtitle in, we could put one in. So you put your subtitle, you use your keywords in the subtitle as well. And this is going to be a header too, and I'm going to label it that way. But it would be a full sentence of what your subtitle is. Here, now here. Let me show you what I just did here. When you log in over here, normally if you leave it set one way, it's going to stay that way. But we have text and we have visual. All right, and so text is actually the coding area. And so if you knew how to work with code, you would work here. But you don't know how to work in code. So you're going to use what they call the WYSIWYG editor. If you've worked in different newsletter services, often they have almost the exact same features, the shortcuts that you can use to create different content. So we want to turn this into a header when we publish this, the first heading is going to be how to write blog posts. That's called an H1 heading. And then our next blog heading or subtitle is going to be called an H2 heading. And this is talking to the search engines, but it includes our keywords as well. And then we continue to write our article, and maybe 3 to 5 times during the article we use our keywords again. Now let's say we want to write a list. So now if we want to put in bullet points, we click this little shortcut, bulleted list, and there's all different kinds of things to do here. Click a bulleted list. Whoops, missed one. Okay, now let's say that we want to link to another page or link to another website. All right. So when you do that, you need the complete URL. If a website is www. blah 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 blah, you want to include the HTTP as well. So you highlight what you want, the words that you want to link to the other website. You click link, and right there you put in your hyperlink, and you notice it's http://www.createacashflowshow.com, free resources, blah blah blah. And so that is how, and then you push enter. You've just created a hyperlink. Now let's put a picture in real quick. Add media. And if you already have pictures uploaded, they're going to show up here right now. So we could put any picture we wanted in. You just highlight it. Write in some alternate text. It's a good idea to have your picture also tagged. Alternate text, that's the word for alternate text, tagged with your keywords. What was our keywords? Write blog posts. And that's just talking to the search engines at the same time you're talking to people. So now you can center it. You can choose a size. 800 is pretty big. Let's dumb it down a little bit and insert. And there, that picture's going to show up. But you know what? I think I want it on the right. So let's just do that. And get back to our article writing. Whoops. Keep on writing. Let's say we want to put in a numbered list now. You come up here, hit numbered list. And out of that list, I think I'm going to hyperlink to another page. So if you want to hyperlink right out of the body of the article, because sometimes in your article you have related content on your site, or you might want to link to your affiliate site, or whatever the case may be. So that's the same URL I used a minute ago. It could be obviously any URL you want. Enter. And there you have it. Now, let's just keep typing our blog posts, and you can type offline. If you want to type offline, you can bring it up here. It's really actually probably easier to type it offline, but then format it online. So let's say we want to bold this. Here's the little B right here. And let's say we want to, let's just bold it and italicize it right there. Okay. Now we have some other features. Whoops. Sorry about that. That was not related to the website. Okay. We can block quote. And some websites have some pretty fancy block quotes. This website's block quotes are not very fancy. But what they do, what you do when you block quote something, they indent it and highlight it. But as I said, this one doesn't block quote very well. Let's just write block quote in there so we can recognize it when we look at it on the front end. And let's recognize this too, bold. That's not how you spell bold, Deb, is it? All right, header 1. Oh, let's put another header in. So we're going to end the block quote now. So you just unclick it. And we got a header 3. And the reason we're at header 3 now is because, and you go back up here, header 3. Remember that the title is header 1, this is header 2, and this is header 3. And when you finish up your article, it's not required, but I usually go ahead and put my keywords in the last sentence, kind of as a reminder. You want to use your keyword, what was our keyword? How to write blog posts. You want to talk to your people, but you want to tell the search engines what the article's all about. Otherwise, you'll never show up. And you can learn more about this as you go along, but this is just a kind of a quick tip to get started. So you start to think about this from the beginning. So down here, we use SEO Yoast, which is a paid-for SEO service, but most likely you have some sort of SEO feature on the bottom of your blog, and you put your focus keyword in here, and then you write a quick description. If you don't write a description, it's going to pull exactly what the first couple paragraphs were of your website, and you write a better title. Let's see here. Learn how to, always use caps, write blog posts quickly. Alright, see that's still yellow there? Search engines want a certain amount of words, so create a title that turns it green, and write your description down here. And again, you want to have the right number of, this is what is actually going to show up in your search engines, but you want to include your keywords as well in your description. And so this shows up in the search engines, and you're talking, and then people read this and they decide if they want to come see your site. If you have the feature, these are all things you probably don't have on your website, but if you have an excerpt feature, I'll show you this when we get to the front. You put your description down there as well, and that way, instead of pulling it out of the post for you, you've created an excerpt that you want it to be. And then some websites have a featured image. You can select a featured image here. Now let's say we don't like any of these photos that are in our already in our library. You can go to Upload, select Files, and then you can pick a picture. Let's pick a picture of Spencer. How's that? And put it in. And then, of course, you do also want to put your alt tag in. This is something that is talking to the search engines, and it should relate to the article. And you set your feature image. All right, so back to the website. So this is the feature image here. That doesn't show up on the page. Well, normally it doesn't. Some themes. Now remember, every theme has different features. Some themes have the feature where the feature image shows up at the top of the blog post as well, which is nice sometimes because then you don't have to add an article if you pick out an appropriate one. But this is the featured image on the blog's landing page, on the feed. And if you went to, say, one of these categories, then the feed's going to show only the recruiting articles that relate to that category or that chapter of your blog. All right, but then when you go to the website, wait, where's our article? Let's look at our own article that we just wrote, right? This is the article that we just wrote. As it's exactly going to show, what I did was I hit this preview button. It's still in draft. If you're afraid you're going to close the page and it will go away, so you can save it as draft. How to write blog posts, and you see we put our keywords in the first paragraph, and then we have our header 2, which includes the keywords, and we put our keywords underneath that because this keyword supports these keywords. It's kind of like your header is telling you what's coming next, and then there's our bulleted list. There's our hyperlink. It's going to take us to wherever I put in there, I don't remember, a list of all the different resources we have on the Cashflow Show. And this is, what is this? So this is content with the left justified picture. I didn't put enough content in really to fill it up, but that's okay. And then here's our numbered list. Here's our bolded and italicized words. There's our back to the paragraph form. And then here we have our box quote. See that it's indented. And like I said, a lot of websites have a really fancy parentheses or quotes or whatever, making box, or maybe a shadowy background, but I don't use box quotes much, and this website doesn't have a good box quote feature. And there's our last heading, header 3. Notice how it's a little bit smaller than header 2, and then header 1 is your blog post title. And so this is our blog post. This is a preview. What I did was, so now you can come back here and make changes now and re-see your preview. Make sure it's the way you want it before you publicize it. There we have it. See that whatever I just changed. And let's see, I think that, really is the most important things to get started on, so you can actually start writing posts. You want to select your category, because every blog defaults to a certain category. This blog defaults to inspiration, but this is about writing blog posts, and so that's not very good inspiration, but it is online marketing. So we pick the correct category, and you'll notice here that it defaulted to a specific URL, but once we save it as a draft, the new category right here is going to show up. So now it's online marketing, writing blog, and so write blog posts is our keyword, and the keyword's also included in the title. Now sometimes if you write a longer title, it'll have the whole title there, and if you just want your keywords there, so you open that up and you change that in such a way so it's only doing your keywords. Just real quick, without any more time, we did the bold. If you have something that's already in a heading form and you see it says right there heading 2, you don't want it in a heading, you can always convert it back to a paragraph. And then your bold, your italics, your bullet list, your numbered list, your block quotes, you could take this whole, it's left justified now, you could center it, or you could right justify it, you could hyperlink it. I don't think they're on your blog, these are specific to this website. You could draw a line through it if you wanted. It's kind of weird, isn't it? Let's take that line out. You could underline it if you wanted. You want to break the hyperlink. Oh, we're making a mess here. Don't pay attention to all this. All right. Sorry about that. All right. Let's take that line out of there. Okay, there we go. You can change the text color. There's a drop down. Let's turn it green, right? Oh, this is important. If you want to post into your website from your PC or from your email, if you just copy information like a full article out of your email and post it into the visual setting, you're going to end up with a whole bunch of code that is going to screw up your website. So you don't use code, or you don't use, when you copy something from your PC, instead of just pasting it right into your website like that, let's see if you, I hope it worked. Okay, it didn't do a lot, but it put some code in there, not much. A lot of times it's a lot more than that you don't really want. And so what you have to do is to paste it in like this, in other words, on the text side. And now it's clean code. It's not going to affect your website. So the visual code, if you're pasting directly from your PC, like a Word document, or from email, you either go to the text tab and find the spot you want to put it and paste it in, or if you're doing a whole article, just go in, this would be blank, and you post the whole article here, and then you switch back, and then you can edit it as you see fit. But the alternate way to do that is to click this button right here, And when that's laid back, you can see it's highlighted now. You have the ability to paste without including any of that formatting. But then once you stop doing that, you need to stop pasting, you need to unclick it, and then you can work as is. So did I show you how to do pictures? I did. The picture is add media. The paragraph, you can change it for all these different headings. Clear formatting, I don't use any of these other ones. So there you have it. Now we're going to post, we already picked a category, and now it's time to publish it. So you can either straight publish it right this second, but what I usually do is write 3 or 4 articles at a time, and then I post them, 2 a week, every week for the next 3 weeks. And then, so now you can schedule it. And that is what you're going to end up with, is your article. And then you're going to end up with your blog feed. Your article is going to be listed on the feed with a title. And depending on your specific theme, you may or may not have the feature image, and you may or may not have the ability to change the excerpt. A lot of blogs pull the first excerpt out of the content. So that's how you manage your blog. And if you have any questions, you can email me, deb@debbixler.com. It's only the beginning, and the SEO stuff is, just a microscopic piece of the big picture. But as you're getting started, you should be cognizant of what you want to do in every article. You want to educate your fans, but you also want to attract the search engine. So even if you have a really off-the-wall topic, like whatever, somebody wrote an article for me on how to create a generator so that you can, out of a battery, so that you can have electricity at a vendor event. And so wouldn't you like to show up in the search engines for how to make your homemade generator? So you pick a keyword and then use it through the article that somebody might search for someday. It might not be big searches, but if they do search, then you got the content for them and you want to attract them. And so think about that as you start to write. Be very aware of whether you're posting or making a page. When you make a page, you must link it off somewhere. These are all pages across here that are links so they can get to them. If you create a page and you don't link to it, people can't find it. So that's it. Deb@debbixler.com and 717-751-2793. All right.